It's been 216 days since Pokemon Legends ZA, or Pokemon Z as I like to call it, was announced. I'll never forget where I was. It was the middle of a lecture and I was covertly watching the Pokemon Presents with my phone leaning up against a computer. So in all the times in all the world that a Pokemon Z could have been announced, it was when I was in a public setting and couldn't divert my full attention to it. So I see some lines and some cool animatics out of the corner of my eye, and the Pokemon Legends ZA name pops up and I just cry. I don't full on bawl my eyes out audibly, but I silently weep in joy for the rest of that quarter of the year. But that's only 1/3 of it. I had a whole video planned at the time, as early as February, like in the direct aftermath of it, and I wrote a script to record an immediate reaction to the Pokemon Z announcement, going in depth about how nostalgic Pokemon X and Y are to me, about why the X and Y trading card game, anime and everything just interlooped perfectly. But the reason I never made it is because the reveal of Pokemon Z was just too difficult to revisit emotionally. Genuinely, no game has actually affected me as early as this from launch. I dare you to find any mention of Pokemon Legends ZA in Pokemon media outside of that initial trailer. After February 27th, 2024, the game has gone without a single update. Now this is only the second game made under the Pokemon Legends title, and when Pokemon Legends Arceus was announced I had a brief trailer, but was clearly much further along in development because it was followed up by gameplay of all sorts relatively soon after. I had branding and everything and products that lined up with it, like TCG releases and even an anime special. We have nothing like that for Pokemon Z at the moment, and there is a new Nintendo console on the way. Can you believe it? I was playing X and Y before the Switch was even out, and now Pokemon Z is coming out around the time of the new one, but we don't even know if it's going to be simultaneously released on Switch 1 and 2. We don't even know that, no matter what form the new console takes. You can pre-order Pokemon Z at the moment for Switch 1 if you're a madman, because we know nothing about it. Legends Arceus, for being natively Switch, had some issues running, so I don't know what a successor could be like. There's also like a little fan theory going around that it's been internally delayed and they just haven't announced it yet. So if they want to make this video age really poorly, really quickly, they would announce a delay to Pokemon Z within the next few days. You're welcome if that happens, because it finally breaks the news drought. It all basically hinges on when the new Nintendo console is announced, because you can't put up pre-orders for Pokemon Z releasing on a console that doesn't even have a name yet. It gets pretty confusing, but the bottom line is I'm just really impatient.